If you're looking for all the answers, I don't have them. But what I do have is a particular set of skills I've developed over a very long career. Skills that I believe would be beneficial to people like you. So if you hit the subscribe and like button, that will be it. I will not pursue you. I will let it go. But if you don't, then you don't. I hope you do. I hope I'm providing information that you guys want. I love doing it. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. And speaking of which, before I forget, in honor of our passing 100 subscriptions in just such a short period of time, I am going to do a giveaway to thank you guys for supporting me and my channel. So stay tuned at the end of this video, and I will give you the details on how you can enter to win a really great prize. And at the end of the video, I'll tell you what that prize is. So stay tuned. Don't speed ahead. This is going to be good information, I promise. So last time, I kind of teased at the end of the video that I was going to give you a system, a strategy that if you do it properly, I guarantee it will make you money. And that's true. The trick is, part of the strategy depends on you. And it depends on doing what we talked about in the last few episodes. Being proactive, doing your research and your homework to give you that best advantage in order for this to succeed, right? So there's a few things that you're going to have to do on your own to make sure this happens. One of them is you're going to have to target certain rookies, okay? Now for next year, we'll have to start thinking about this already. You know, are we going to look at Obi Toppin or Anthony Edwards or James Wiseman or LaMelo Ball? You know, are we going to go international with Killian Hayes? You know, who are we looking at? So it's never too early to start, and you'll see what I mean. So with that said, I'm going to bring you some information now that I hope you'll enjoy and I hope you can put it to good use. It's actually evidence. Now you guys know my background as a DEA agent. I talk a lot about bringing that same information that I developed or skill set that I had back when I was with DEA into the card collecting, card investing, buying, selling. And that's what I'm trying to do. But I'm not going to tell you anything without backing it up with evidence. Because I think if people tell you what to buy, when to buy, but don't back it up, that does us no good. Because we're just going to have to do the work anyway. Unless we blindly follow and end up buying things or regretting things or just going down a bad path. So in this episode, we're going to talk about my strategy of buying first year rookie cards and being prepared and to have them when it makes the most sense financially speaking. Okay? That's all about being proactive. Now, as I said, we're going to need some certain things. First, we need a target list of players that we're going to look for. Second, we have to join. I would suggest joining PSA because this system is dependent upon graded cards. So why do I say join PSA? Well, when you join PSA, there's 3 levels, I believe: platinum, gold, and silver. And with that, you get several free grading vouchers, and you may want to utilize them when you're putting cards in for grading. Second part of it is you cannot be risk averse. Okay, you have to be risk tolerant, because if you do this correctly, you're going to do fine, but there are going to be some misses. All right, so it's all going to depend on your level of risk tolerance. Now, if you're really tight on money, I get it, I understand totally. This may not be a system for you, but hear me out, listen to what I have to say. You can maybe tweak it in some ways that may benefit you the best, but I feel it's what I'm trying to do is just give you information. I'm telling you what I have done, a proven method, and go from there. Now, for One of the reasons why it's important to understand is that when we're talking about grading cards for PSA, I'm not talking about a bulk submission where you give the card in or you give it to a third party or you put in your 50 or 100 or whatever it's going to be and you wait 5 or 6 or 7 months to get the cards back. That's not going to work for this. What we're going to do is we're going to use economy grading. Okay, that's a $20 card grading. All right, you will get your card back within 40 to 45 days. I have had 2 already so far. I have 1 in for submission now. I've had actually a couple over the season, and I'm averaging about 30 to 40 days. I have 1 in submission now that I put in on, I sent it in the last week or so, last week or maybe 10-15 days prior in June. It got logged in on July 1st. It's in the grading process now, and I'm hoping to have it back by the end of July. So that's right around that 40-45 day period. Now, why is this important? Well, we need the cards back to maximize profit potential because we want to have the cards in hand because we were proactive in grading and picking these cards, we're now be able to react to when the market says now is a good time to sell. Okay, that's very important. I know what you're saying. Why would we spend $20 on a card that we can just submit bulk? Well, maybe last year I'd say that's a valid argument because I was grading in bulk $8.50, $9, $10 for a bulk submission. Now it's raised up to where if you're going to a third party, it's going to cost you $13 to $15 to grade. To me, that $5 to maybe get ahead of the curve, to me, it's worth that. It was worth it to me before, but now it's even more worth it because we're talking about, $5 maybe. And for me to get that card back 4 or 5 months in advance on a chance to really profit, I'm going to do that every day. And it is important too because some of these players that I'm going to be talking to you about today, we may not want to keep them next year. They may have hit their high this year, okay? And the window to sell them at a premium price is now, okay? Maybe it's coming at the playoffs. And if they're not, and you're going to have a long time hold anyway, then go ahead and submit them bulk if you want to grade them. There's no rush. This is to capitalize on being proactive and then react to a good situation. So, if at the end of the video you guys have any questions, just throw the comment, throw in the questions. I'll be happy to answer the questions. But what I'm going to show you now, because bringing back to my old days in DEA, is evidentiary based. I'm not going to cherry pick and say this is the card you should have bought. Look, if you would have bought it here, you would have made out really good because look at the price now. We're going to go. I'm not going to go through 1 or 2. We're going to go through a bunch. So buckle up. We're going to have maybe 10 or 15 guys. I'm going to show you the theories, show you the system, but it's going to be concrete. All right, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So, talking about first-year rookies, silver rookie prism cards. That's what we're looking at. They come out in November. They usually hit the market end of November. The silvers usually come out around then, and then you're going to see those first silver cards come out 45, 35, 45 days after, unless they're a big dollar card where people rush them in and do, express or regular submission, then they're going to come back earlier. And that's something we can talk about. But for this exercise, I'm talking about economy grading for the silver prism. So let's take a look, okay? The first card I want to look at, well, before I do that, how do you know who to target or who to look at? Well, again, that's where the homework comes in. That's where you guys have to start looking at those players like I mentioned before for next year. One of the things that I love to do is start looking at all the professional reports that come out, the scouting reports, what they're thinking about these players. And also another good one is a odd sheet or who are the candidates for Rookie of the Year? And you can see they're the usual suspects. And you can adjust during the year. Odds change. People come into play that they normally wouldn't. Like an Eric Paschall came in a little bit later. Kendrick Dunn came in a little bit later. Tyler Hero came on the board. But these are, if we're being proactive, we can see that coming, and then we can attack that player's vulnerability as far as his card price. Now let's take a look. Let's take a look at Carson Edwards first. I like Carson Edwards. Good player. Not going to go into all the details. We're talking specifically about prices, theories, and what we've seen. Trends. Important trends. Okay? So Carson Edwards comes out. He's about $34, $35 as soon as he hits the market. Not many cards are out there. Someone throws it up there on eBay or whatever, and he's high. But then look what happens. He drops, and then about a month later, give or take, he's down to $5.16. That's where our attack price is. That's where we're going in, and we're going to start to look and see if we're going to buy him. If you like Carson Edwards, $5.16, up from a high of 36, we're going to grab him. Okay? I grab 2 or 3 cards. I see what I like. You know, again, I have to tell you, we are risk tolerant, and we're not putting all our eggs in one basket. We're spreading this out. It depends on, I usually target 5 to 8 players, and I target them. So, Carson Edwards, we're bringing him down. All right, $12.28, $5.16, we're going to grab him. All right? He's going to come in. Depending on the other cards you're getting, I'm submitting 2 or 3 to PSA. I'm looking at the card. I have trained myself. Either you have a good eye, you've got a grading tool, there's a grading app now, I think it's called Dead Center app I'm starting to look at. I like it. It's got some, you know, got a little bit of tweaks on it, but it's definitely a great tool. Prism this year I thought was easier to grade because of the borders, and usually the cards are in pretty good condition. Coming right out of the, you know, you're buying them. If you're not getting them out of the pack, which we can talk about at a later date, you're getting them, you're on eBay, they look pretty good, they're brand new. They come in, you grab 3, we submit them. They come back, we're lucky enough to get back 10s, $99. So, if you don't get a 10 and you get a 9, are you going to lose all your money? No. On some players, you're going to lose, definitely. But you should at least be able to recap most of your money. If not, break even or maybe be a little bit ahead, and we'll see that as we go through this process. So $5, another $20 to grade, you send it off shipping, well, you're in for maybe $25-$30 max. He comes back, $99. Okay, I'll take that, right? And you're like, oh Andy, you're cherry picking. That doesn't happen every time. Let's move on. Cam Radish. People love Cam Radish, right? I like Cam Radish. Comes out, exactly the same thing occurs. He comes out at the end of November, early December, and he's at about $80. And then we wait. And then he drops, and then he's slowly a little bit jumpy, and then boom, a month later, 25 days later, $17.80. Let's pick up some Cam Radish. 2 or 3 Cam Radish, right? We submit them for grading. We get back, I don't know, let's not have luck at all. Let's get 1 10 and 2 9s. He's selling for $300 for his PSA 10. His 9s are going for, you know, probably about $60 to $80. So still not bad. All right, well, there's 2, Andy. Let's do another one. All right, let's look at another one. RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett, another great player, high on everybody's list. Comes out, boom, right at the end of November, early December. He is at about $120 for a silver. Fantastic. We'll wait. 25 to 30 days later, he's in that sweet spot. We'll call it the buy spot. $37. Maybe pick a couple up. They look good. Pick a couple up. Submit them. Right now they're going for $550. Even if you get a 9, he's still going for $130. Okay? Less risk for a guy like RJ Barrett. Okay? But look at the potential payoff. Same exact things are being exhibited. Let's keep going. Darius Garland. I like Darius Garland. He's a good player. Comes out, same exact time, end of November. He comes out about 26 bucks. Next couple of days he's going higher. We're waiting. 20, 25 days later, he's at $9.62. That's our buy target, right? We grab him, send him in for grading, $165 for a PSA 10, all right? So we have to also remember that as we see this pattern developing, we have to set in our mind what our alert buy is and stick by it, okay? You're going to miss some, I get it, but we can't like deviate too much from that. You know, you might have a $2 or $3 price point you're looking at, and if you see 2 or 3 days where he's dropping down and the next day he starts to bump up, okay, we have to make a decision. Let's keep going. Eric Paschall, one we talked about, where he was kind of a late bloomer into the, Draymond got hurt, Eric Paschall went in, he's doing good. I like him. We haven't really did an in-depth dive into Eric Paschall, not for obviously for this episode, but let's take a look. He comes out again, and in November, early December, he comes in about 33 bucks. He does his usual thing, and then 25 days later, he's down to $8.50. There's our buy, and you probably can't tell from the graph, but you could see he goes up a little bit, and then he sputters down there. I'm usually around the 20 to 25 days into when he's shown on the market. That's usually where his low point is going to be. He can hit a low point again if he gets hurt or something like that. For this exercise, these are the dates that I look at. So we buy him, $8.50, $20 for a grade, whatever, incidentals, you're in for 30, 35 bucks. He's going for $126 now, okay? Let's keep going. Brandon Clark, another great young player. He comes out, $30, he drops, he goes up, he drops, the same stuff we see over and over again, and then a month later, 20 bucks, give or take. He came out a little bit later with his silvers. They started showing up in December. $20, we're grabbing him, and then now he's at $255. Let's move on. Kobe White, great player, right? Everybody likes Kobe White. Came out end of November, early December. He was about 70 bucks, 75 bucks. 1 month later, $22. There's our buy number. Let's grab him. Let's submit him. He's selling for $500. Now, his PSA 9s, silvers, are going from 120 to 140. So, is he as much of a risk if we were to grab him and send him in? Not really. I mean, you're still going to go probably 3 to 4 times on your money, right? Rui Hachimura, another guy, comes out around end of November, early December. He's about 85 bucks. He pops all the way up to 120. He's going the wrong way, guys, right? A month later, down to $45. He hovers down there. We're going to grab him. His PSA 10s now are going for about 390 bucks. His PSA 9s are hovering around 100. Next guy we'll look at, Tyler Hero. He started off, bumped up to $100, dropped down, and then we see that typical up, down, up, down, up, down. And we wait about a month. He's at $47, give or take. He hovers down there for a while. That's my buy number. I grab him. His PSA 10s are going for $429. His PSA 9s are going for about $100. Okay? So again, are we really doing that much of a risk with Tyler Hero? No. Now, of course, going through this, we don't know the trajectory of every player. But if you see the players that we selected, some are more popular than others, you could see they're all holding value in their own way, okay? So we went from maybe $100 up to over $500. So if we were to submit these cards, even if we weren't getting all 10s, a couple 10s is going to get your money back plus even more, and hopefully you would get at least a 9 or a 10. PJ Washington, another very popular player. Let's take a look at his graph. Same thing happens. He comes out, he spikes, he drops, he goes up, 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 up. Then a month later, give or take, or 20 to 25 days, he's at $10.75. We grab him. He's now at $158 for a PSA 10. Jared Culver. Jared Culver came out. He popped up to like $38. You see the same exact trend. A month later, $10.86. And now he's at $130. Now, you could see, before that, a month after he, give or take, he was higher, but that's just a trend line. But I'm saying as of today, he's $130. DeAndre Hunter. He came out, $30, same exact thing, up, down, and then about a month later, give or take, 25 days later, hit that buy mark, $18.88, and now he's at $155. So you could see that this trend is not just on 1, 2, or 3 cards. It's consistent. That's what I look at. I look at consistent trends. It's how, when I was with DEA, I would look when traffickers would do something. They're creatures of habit. The better ones would change things up. Most didn't. I was able to develop a pattern. I knew where this guy was going to be at a certain day and time. The same thing, if we look at the charts, you could start to see a definite pattern. Let's look at a guy like Grant Williams. Okay, Grant Williams, same thing happened. He came out, he was $7, he popped up, he's down, he's up, he's down. A month later, he's at $2.38. If you love Grant Williams, who's not going to buy a silver for $2.38? And even now, he's at $56. I throw guys like that in there because I want to make sure that when we are talking about this, you see that I'm not cherry picking and that it's a pattern that stays with every player. Let's go to Sekou. Sekou is another popular player. I'm being redundant. But he came out $20. He spiked up a little bit. And then on 12/26, about a month later, he was $15.28. And that's when we would have our buy. We would grab him. And now he's up around $300. Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole, look, we see the same exact pattern in the graph. He comes out, he bounces around, and then a month later, he's at 99 cents. If you like Jordan Poole, and there's a 99-cent silver, and he's hovering around there, why not grab him? Jordan Poole is at $72 on a PSA 10. Now, is Jordan Poole a gamble if we do that? Yeah, he is, because you're going to spend $26, and you're hoping if you submit, say, 3, you got to hit one of those 3 to make your money back. Okay? Keep that in mind. Romeo Langford. Let's take a look at Romeo Langford. You guys seeing it? I mean, we're going on and on. It's the same pattern over and over again. He comes out, they bump around for a little bit, and about a month later, they settle in, $8.80. It's our buy number. He's going for $70. Tremont Waters. I'm just throwing these guys in just to show you that it is an evidentiary trend. It's not guessing. I hope every player that we've talked about is this trend. He comes out, he's at about $8. A month later, $1.36. We grab him. He's at $105 now. That was his last sale. Jackson Hayes comes out. You can see where he is. He's about $25, $26. A month later, $9.67. His PSA 10, $114. All right. Now, of course, I'm telling you this about the guys that are the second tier guys, but some of them are not. I mean, you look at the RJ Barrett, Tyler Hero. I mean, even if you get 9s on those guys, you're still going to make out. But what about the big guys? What about those guys that are sought after? Surely the graph cannot indicate the same thing. Let's take a look. Moran comes out, his raw silver prism, boom, comes out, $350, and then you see that sharp drop off like everything else, and then about a month later he's $212. That's pricey, okay? That's pricey. I'm just trying to show you guys an example that no matter what the price of the card, this evidentiary system, this trend that we've established and we've identified is what's happening. So he's $212. As of a few days ago, his silver prism is running about $1,800. Okay? Now, couple things. One is, you can't send in a Moran. You shouldn't send in a Moran card on a bulk or even an economy, because his declared value is too much. So on something like which you probably could get away with it sending in an economy, you probably have to move up to a regular submission, but let your conscience be your guide. But for the purpose of this exercise, I just want to let you know that the graph remains the same. Now, I want to bring this up too, because this is something that I like to do. On a player that you are anticipating doing well, I'll look at his base card, okay? Now, this is a graph of a Moran Prism base. Now, let's take a look. It comes out at the end of November, and it's at about $38, all right? A month later, he's $15. So I'll probably grab a couple Jaws, all right, and submit them. Because even if you didn't grade him, he's up over $100 now. But if we grade him and he comes back as a PSA 10, he's $400. And as a 9, he's running about 136. So there's really no risk there, unless this card is just non-submittable. And if it's not, you're still going to make money because you bought at our buy price, at our trend, right? Let's look at Zion. Zion, his base prism raw, not silver, base prism. We're showing you this because of the graph. I'm showing you this as the trend. He comes out, he's about $80, give or take. A month later, $37. That's our buy number, right? In your head, we know between that 20 and 30 days our sweet spot. We're monitoring, we're knowing when to pounce in. Today, that same card is hovering over almost $200, $180. But his Zion Prism base 10s are $700, almost $770, almost $800, and his 9s are $219. Not a lot of risk, right? And then, lastly, I wanted to show you something else because I didn't. The optics, the Optic cards, Panini Optic, I wanted to see if it held true with them. Now, I don't have all the evidentiary value that I can show, but just as an example, because I'm going to be looking into this, we see the same pattern. Let's look at a guy like Kendrick Dunn for his hollow, okay? Because he didn't have a Prism card. It's coming out in Chronicles. I think they're doing a thing on the Chronicles for Prism for Kendrick Dunn, which will be cool. Probably a sought after card. But his Optic comes out in February, and it pops way up to $380. All right? What is he a month later? $23. We grab him, grab a couple, we grade him, and now he is, I checked today, there was only one out there for sale. Actually, I have one too, which I'm probably going to hold on to because I did exactly what my system said to do and I grabbed them. He was up around $300, $350. I like Kendrick Dunn. Some people will say that he's too old or he's a late start. I like Kendrick Dunn. And then look at Zion Optic Base. Can we apply that same to his Zion Optic Base Raw? He came out, he was $66, he popped up, and then he dropped all the way down to $39. That's where we grab him. I grabbed him there. Go get him graded. He's going for $325 as a 10, and as a 9, about $95, give or take. A little bit more, because I've actually sold some of his 9s. But you get the idea. I hope that this process will enable you to see proactive trends in buying cards. Now, is it 100%? No, it's not. But I guarantee that if you get good at it, you start recognizing where those trends are, you select those players that you're going to target, and in another episode's coming up, maybe 2 or 3 down the road, we'll start to look at the Anthony Edwards, the Obi Toppins, the James Wisemans, the Devin Vassals, whoever it's going to be. We'll start looking at those guys, and we'll start taking a deep dive. Who are they? Where were they playing in college? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? What team do we think they can end up with? Because that really is going to determine a lot of their future value. And we'll do that. And I can't wait to do that. So I hope you got value out of this. If you want to call BS on me, that's fine. The proof is in the pudding. Okay? So, speaking of that, I told you about a giveaway. So I thought it would be cool to put my money where my mouth is and let you guys know that what I'm telling you, I'm applying. So for the giveaway, we're going to give away Mr. Carson Edwards Silver Prism. This will go to one of you lucky subscribers. So how do you enter for the giveaway? Well, it's easy. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go check out my Instagram. You'll see it scrolling as I'm speaking where you go to. And then follow me on Instagram and then comment on the post that you'll see there that describes the giveaway, the Carson Edwards giveaway. That's it. I appreciate everyone. Check out Brett at Stacking Slabs, Jordan Sports Card Analytics, and Chris at Sports Cards PT. The next episode I'm looking forward to, it's the 10 questions that every sports card influencer should answer before you listen to their advice. That'll be fun. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk soon.